Hey guys, welcome to today's video and welcome on into my beauty stash. Summertime is upon us. The unofficial start of summer is this weekend, Memorial Day weekend for those of you living here in the US. And I have 10 amazing palettes that I want to share with you guys. Color stories that I think you need to have in your stash. And I'm talking about majority, if not all, are indie makeup brands. If you guys want to see what made my list, keep on watching. I am so excited for this video. I'm so excited because all of the brands in here are indie brands, and I think it is so great that I've been able to find so many amazing winners in the indie beauty community. I'm happy to say that I also have codes with some of these brands, so if you like anything, I think everything I'm going to show you is in stock. If not, it is going to be restocked. I was careful not to choose anything that was just limited edition and gone for good. So you should be able, if you like what you see, to purchase some of the palettes, or maybe you have them already, or maybe you're on a no buy, low buy right now. Totally understand that. Maybe you can dupe out some of these palettes with what you have in your stash. All of my codes and affiliate links and everything like that, guys, is always in my description box. So I don't always remember offhand like what my code is for what brand, but it's usually Steff or Steff 10. Those are usually the two codes that I use. So let's start first with a brand that I really enjoy. I have a few palettes from this brand in my stash, and I'm talking about Menagerie Cosmetics. This palette is on sale right now on their website, and this is the Indigo Ink palette. A lot of Menagerie Cosmetics palettes, they all feature different animals, wildlife, insects. This is, of course, featuring marine life, and look at how beautiful this color story is. If this doesn't want to make you take a Caribbean vacation, I don't know what will get you there. This palette has the pop of coral, the beautiful yellow, the blues, that beautiful red. The red is kind of unexpected for this blue greenish color story, but I love it. I love it all day long. I think this is on sale for about 38 bucks. This is a really, really good palette. And guys, I forgot to mention, I have videos on all of these palettes that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So I'm going to do my best to link the video that corresponds with each palette in the description box in case you guys want to check out the looks that I've created with all of these palettes. But Indigo Ink from Menagerie is definitely aces, and I think it's a must-have for summer of 2023. Coming up next is a palette I've had in my stash probably since I started my channel, so it's kind of old, but hey, powders last longer than creams do. This palette, it's a big palette, but it's just, I could not include it in this video, and I'm talking about this one from bPerfect Cosmetics. This is her collaboration with Stacey Marie. She is a makeup artist, beautiful girl herself, and she does amazing work. But this is the Carnival III palette. This is a large palette. It is a mega size rainbow palette. I mean, if you love colorful makeup, you probably already have this in your stash, and you can attest as to how great this palette is. Every matte shadow, every shimmer shadow performs so well. These mattes are super pigmented, but they're easy to work with. They're blendable. I've used this palette. I've had this palette for years, and I don't see or feel any hard pan. It performs just as well as the day I got it. I remember when I bought this palette, I was so excited. It was at the start of me, you know, just getting out here on YouTube, and I want to say I created 4 or 6 different looks with it, but I remember it was a Sunday, and I spent all day Sunday filming, and I was just so excited to play with this palette. This is my very first purchase from bPerfect Cosmetics, and I'm happy to say that I have added a lot more stuff, not just palettes, but also foundation and concealer and bronzers from them as well. And this is a UK, it's a UK based indie makeup brand. So all of my UK beauties out there, You gotta get on the ball with bPerfect if you haven't checked them out yet. Coming up next is a brand, Texas-based indie makeup brand that has a new palette coming out very soon, and you can rest assured you're gonna see me creating a few looks with their new palette, and I'm talking about Nomad Cosmetics. This palette in particular was dropped last year, and this is the Monteverde palette. This is the palette for Costa Rica. I was supposed to go to Costa Rica this year. We were planning to go, but plans changed, and now we're going to Turks and Caicos. I will be in the Turks and Caicos in a couple weeks. I am so excited, but I was already thinking in my head, oh, I'm gonna take this palette with me. I'm gonna take it with me to Costa Rica, but Costa Rica is still on my list. I will make it there someday, and rest assured, this palette is gonna go along for the ride. Look at how fun and vibrant this color story is. What I like about this color story is even though it's colorful, you have a couple of neutral shades to anchor your look with if you don't feel like going full-blown, you know, colorful makeup look for that particular day. You have a nice matte brown. You do have like a lighter green, a deeper green. You have an orange that could easily act kind of like as a tan shade. You have some good neutrals also, like with the shimmer shadows right here. It's just a very fun color story. And I think for those of you who have been to Costa Rica, then you probably can tell me best if this color story represents Costa Rica, but I'm pretty sure it does because Nomad Cosmetics is pretty spot on when it comes to their color stories and representing the country and city that they are featuring. They are a Texas-based indie makeup brand. They are a travel-themed indie makeup brand, and I just love supporting this brand so much. I do have a code with them. It'll be in the description box, and be sure to stay tuned because Saturday, this coming Saturday, I will have their new palette featured on my channel. I'll have 3 or 4 looks up with it, but I cannot wait for you guys to see that palette and my video. Another palette that I think ties in perfectly with summertime is this one from Blend Bunny Cosmetics, and this is their Lure palette. We got to include something mermaid, right? I mean, when we think of summer, we think of the beach, we think of the ocean, and I definitely think of mermaids when I think summer. I think mermaids and the theme, like flamingos and the theme, all of that, they're never gonna go out of style. I think we will always have mermaid and flamingo themes throughout, you know, our makeup and at home decor and all of that stuff, and I love it. I will take it all day long. I think that this is a beautiful color story that represents the ocean, that represents just the beach, fun in the sun, summertime, and I like the way Blend Bunny Cosmetics does the layout of their palettes. So you can take these column by column, and these would be the 4 shades you would use to create your look. Or you can just mix around the palette the way I like to do. I had a really good experience with this one. I've been really impressed. Been really impressed with Blend Bunny. Their new blush palette, which I think you can see over here behind me, that Juicy Cheeks blush palette. I didn't include it in this video because this is all about eyeshadows, but you gotta get that Juicy Cheeks blush palette. It is aces and perfect for summertime. Next is a palette that just got restocked, and I'm talking about Ninhydrin from Adep Cosmetics. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but this is a beautiful color story. Now, this one only contains 2 matte shadows, but look at how beautiful these multi and duochrome shimmers are. This is the perfect summertime palette if you don't want to be too bold and too bright, and you just want to have your shimmer do all the talking. Adep Cosmetics shimmers are no joke. They are absolutely amazing. They are very easy to work with. I definitely recommend using a glitter glue or some type of glitter primer because the shimmers do adhere better to the lid that way, and I recommend that across like all these brands and palettes that I'm going to be sharing with you all, but this is a very special palette. It's just so much fun. I think this is year round, but I can definitely see this being a summer color story because of the beautiful blues, pops of purple, pink, and of course the beautiful greens. The next palette I have to share with you is one that might not be in stock, but I think there are plans to restock it very soon. And I'm talking about Ethereal from Gourmand Girls. This palette dropped last year, and I think that this is one of their best palettes to date. This is a full duo and multi-chrome palette. I mean, look at these beautiful shades in here. This is your summer, your spring, you know, duo multi-chrome palette. I do have a code with Gourmand Girls. I believe it is Steff. Again, all my codes, I'm just gonna put that they are in the description box, okay? But this is a must-have from the brand. This is one of the palettes that is just gonna blow you away. And if you haven't tried Gourmand Girls in a while, let this be on your must-try list. This palette is phenomenal. These are just beautiful shadows. Again, use a glitter primer so that they can adhere really well to the eyelid, but I love this color story. I think this is gonna be one of the palettes that goes with me to the Turks and Caicos in a few weeks. Coming up next is the Metamorphosis palette from Lethal Cosmetics. Take a look at this color story. ColourPop has a new palette coming out that has a lot of these shades in them, and also a Beauty Bay just dropped a palette very similar to the ColourPop palette, the mega palette that's coming out really soon. I will be reviewing the Beauty Bay palette. It is on the way to me, so just stay tuned for that. I think it's called Sunset, and then the ColourPop one is called Smokin' Hot. Anyway, those are larger scale palettes. This is a more scaled down version of those palettes. This is a nice 12 pan palette that's going to give you some amazing mattes, beautiful shimmer shadows. There's a couple duochromes in this one, but Lethal Cosmetics is one of those brands that I have watched and seen and felt them improve palette to palette to palette. I like the new formula that they've come up with. I like the color stories they're coming out with, and all of their palettes, you can pop out all the shades and put them into your own palette. They're magnetic pans, and I just think that they've done a really nice job. They do a very pretty job with their packaging, with their color stories, and now more so with their formulas. If full-blown colorful makeup looks are not your thing, the bright pops of pink and purple and green neon shades, if that's not your thing, this is definitely a little more scaled back, a little more neutral toned, and this is a nice transition from summer into fall as well. Next is a palette that was just restocked like yesterday or the day before, and I'm talking about this little beauty from Sugar Drizzle. This is the Dragonfly Warrior palette. This palette has made a few of my top 10 lists, and I love this little 9-pan palette. I love this color story all day long. I will never get tired of wearing blue and green eyeshadow, especially in the spring and summer. And what I love about this palette is that this is a great palette for year-round, particularly because it has the matte black. And as I showed you guys in a more recent video, when you lay a matte black down first and then you put a multi or duochrome over it, it's going to take on a totally different effect. The different shifts that duo and multi-chrome have in them already, they're going to be amplified, or they're also going to turn into different colors depending on what's underneath them. And laying down a matte black shadow can take your everyday go to work type of look into a dramatic day to evening type of look. So I am so glad that Sugar Drizzle included this matte black because it just adds more versatility to the palette. But this is an amazing little 9-pan palette, and if you've never tried Sugar Drizzle, these are really nice palettes to check out. I have always said that Sugar Drizzle and Gourmand Girls and It's Belle Cosmetics, they make having duochromes and multi-chromes at a very affordable price point. You don't need to break the bank to get an all duo or all multi-chrome palette, because Sugar Drizzle, Gourmand Girls, It's Belle Cosmetics, they are the main brands that I've seen do it well and do it at a good price point that can fit into almost anybody's budget. So Dragonfly Warrior. If you don't have this one, it is in stock now on the Sugar Drizzle website, but I don't know how long it's gonna last, so you guys gotta act fast on this one. Next is a palette that I'm wearing some of the jewelry from the collection. You guys already know my very first PR package from Oden's Eye. Guys, neutral palettes with green and orange in them, that's gonna be the trend. I think that's gonna be the trend all the way until 2023, even going into 2024. I feel like we're seeing neutral palettes making a comeback, and I am choosing Stone and Rock. This is my favorite palette. While I think both of the palettes, the Jewels and Gem palette, I think they're both equally great as far as formula and quality goes, but color story wise, this is my favorite of the two, and I think you can clearly see why. I love green shadow. Green eyeshadow is one of my most favorite shadows to wear. I consider green to be a neutral. I know, like in the decorating space, green is treated as a neutral, so remember that also when you guys are creating your eye looks. Green is a neutral, and it's pretty much going to go with anything that you pair with it. I like that I get a little bit of a grungy vibe with this, but I also get that neutralness coming through, but I can also create fun, colorful looks from this palette. And I think if you're looking to try Oden's Eye for the first time, or if maybe you're just wanting to add a new neutral palette, kind of update your neutral palette eyeshadow stash, this is a good one to add to cart immediately. Now, these are not limited edition. They're going to hang around. I don't know how long they're going to hang around, but they're definitely not going to just be a one and done type of thing. And I'm pretty sure this is still in stock. The jewelry, they sent me the entire collection. Like when I was opening up the box, I'm like, what are all these little pink pouches? Well, it was all of the jewelry. So this is one of the sets that's in the collection. You can buy the jewelry separate, or you can buy the entire collection. I believe it retails for $276, and it includes the 2 eyeshadow palettes. And of course, I think there's 4 different sets when it comes to jewelry. This does have a matching bracelet, and it also has another set of earrings that has a little cuff up here at the top. I wore that set already in the video that I did over this palette, and so I wanted to add the little necklace to this one, kind of dress up my little Walmart t-shirt over here, and I love it. I'm so grateful for the team at Oden's Eye for thinking of me, for finding me, and sending me this amazing PR package. But the Stone and Rock palette, I think, is a must-have for summer 2023. And last but certainly not least, and I gotta thank all of you out there who have used my code to buy this palette, because I get emails. Not all brands do that, but depending on how the brand has their like affiliate link, system set up, the creator, me, for example, will get an email every time somebody buys, a palette or uses their code. It doesn't tell me who buys it. It just says your code was used, or your link was used, or blah, 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 something like that. I've gotten so many emails saying that you guys have shopped the Citrus Punch palette from Simply Posh Cosmetics, and I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you guys for not just supporting me and using my code, but for supporting this brand. This brand is founded by Kayla. She lives here where I live in South Texas, in the Rio Grande Valley, and I am so happy that I can support local business, local small business. It is very rare that I come across other content creators or even, makeup brands here in my local community. And for me to have found Kayla and Simply Posh Cosmetics has been a dream come true, because this is a brand that I'm going to be supporting for a very long time. I have to support my local small business. And you know what? Simply Posh makes it really easy for me to support them, because they keep producing amazing eyeshadow palettes. I do have some lashes from them. I love them as well. I have like a little handheld mirror, but their eyeshadow palettes are where it's at. And they also do eyeshadow palettes that contain multi and duochromes at a very affordable price point. And what I mean by affordable, you're going to be paying less than 50 bucks for a big palette like this that contains those special shadows, less a discount code. I believe mine is Steff for Simply Posh. But you guys have been loving this palette. Clearly you all have been loving it, and I am so excited for those of you who bought it and are already playing with it at home, creating amazing looks, because I know all the looks that you're creating are just going to be absolutely beautiful, because this is a beautiful palette. I mean, if this doesn't scream summer, I don't know what does. But look at the pops of yellow, orange, pink, red. I mean, just beautiful. If you'd want to bring in a matte white and a matte black, or even a dark matte brown, I think that would be beautiful with this palette as well. Maybe you're gonna pick up the Gourmand Girls Ethereal palette. You can definitely pair it with the mattes that are in this Simply Posh palette, but I think this Citrus Punch palette might be their best-selling palette. I don't know. I know a lot of you have picked this one up. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are, and let me know what your experience has been with this one. Alright guys, so that wraps up today's video. Those were my 10 must-have palettes for summer 2023. I believe all of them are in stock and ready to buy. Links and discount codes are going to be in the description box, along with corresponding videos that pertain to each palette. That way, hopefully, I can give you guys some more inspiration. If you're curious about the look that I have on, you guys have seen this look go up already. It was using the new Ladybug Glow Cosmetics Pond Lily palette, which is available now. I think it's still available, or maybe you guys have sold it out by the time you're watching this video. But I just want to say a special thank you to all of you who do use my codes and my affiliate links. And guys, like I told you all a couple weeks ago, YouTube is now my one and only full-time job, and I am so excited to get this new chapter of my life going. It's been going, but I feel like a weight has been lifted, and I'm so excited. I am so excited about life and what's to come, and I just want to thank you guys so much for all of the love and support. You guys mean the world to me, and I really honestly would not be here if it wasn't for you guys watching. I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. You all have a great day or night, wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink your water. Cheers. And I will see you all very soon. Bye.